Hi, are you looking for entertaining family activities or to take a musical journey through the sounds of summer? The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join in the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer. Presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. There's still plenty to see and do throughout Saginaw and the riverfront area. For a complete list of events and activities, visit artsaginaw.org. And for daily updates on all the excitement, keep listening to WSGW.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 67 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. Today is move-in day at Saginaw Valley State University campus. University officials say residence halls will be filled to capacity for the new academic year. About 100 more freshman students will be living on campus than last year, with about 70% of incoming freshmen choosing on-campus housing. After the freshmen move in today, other students will be moving in through Saturday. The website Niche has ranked SVSU's student housing #1 in the nation among public universities in its annual Best Dorms list. A new kindergarten readiness program is coming to Saginaw Public Libraries. Here's WSGW's Jonathan Dent with this story.
Beginning October 10th at the Buttman Fish Library, the 10-week-long Lena Start program will teach parents and caregivers to effectively talk to their infants and toddlers. The program teaches the benefit of back-and-forth interaction through the use of a device called a talk.
Good morning. How are you, Art?
Conversation between a parent and a child. That interaction is shown to be a vital part of early brain development, according to research published in numerous scientific journals. The program is being offered for free through a partnership with the Bay County Library System, and anyone interested in attending can call 989-799-9160 or visit www.saginawlibrary.org. Jonathan Dent, News 5 and 790.
In honor and in memory of loved ones, butterflies were released at parks in Alma, Clare, Gladwin, Midland, and Mount Pleasant August 7th as part of the annual Butterflies in the Park event. Hosted by My Michigan Home Care, the event is a time-honored tradition meaningful for donors and patients alike, offering community members the opportunity to honor those who have made a special or positive impact on their lives. More than $12,000 was raised at the event to be used to support patients in need of home care and hospice services, medication, and medical supplies. Anyone who would like to learn more about My Michigan Home Care's hospice and home care services can visit mymichigan.com/home care. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
This segment of Our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of August, Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights Reed Association of Saginaw County. The Reed Association of Saginaw County is a 501c3 organization whose mission is to help students improve their reading skills and discover the joys of reading. We accomplish this by providing multiple volunteer opportunities through the following programs: Raising Readers Academy, Carolyn R. Otto Family Literacy Center, Mentor Program Volunteer, and our Read Book Delivery Program. To ensure volunteers are always needed for all programs, the Reed Association of Saginaw County also offers you the opportunity to donate funds using a credit card on their website, readinsaginaw.org. For more information regarding volunteer opportunities or ways to donate, call the Reed offices at 989-755-8402 or visit them online at readinsaginaw.org.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is next. University of Michigan researchers are studying how well people with autism spectrum disorder can detect road hazards and plan to assist the young motorists in. The Associated Press says the upcoming effort will be the second phase of a project funded by Ford that teams the Ann Arbor University with a local driving academy. During phase 1 of the study, researchers found students with autism spectrum disorder detected fewer hazards than control participants during simulated drives, but the lead researcher says many of the students' responses improved with further training. The second phase is expected to start in a month or two. 2 men have been found guilty of conspiracy as part of a plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Jurors deliberated for just about 8 hours in the case before delivering their verdicts. And Gary Croft Jr. Defense lawyers say the 2 men were big talkers who were entrapped by the FBI. Legal analyst Charlie Langton says an appeal is likely.
There were a couple of technical issues. The judge limited some of the time for closing arguments. It's a little unusual for that. They also argued that the jury pool was not as fair as it could have been. There were a couple of jurors that may have had some connections to the case, and I think they'll appeal on that one.
This marked the second trial for Fox and Croft, who, after a trial that concluded in April resulting in a hung jury, 2 other men were acquitted while in guilty pleas. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Sunny and forward today. Highs top out near 86 degrees. Winds west around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Lows drop to 63. Winds turn to the east-southeast 5 to 10. Thursday becomes mostly cloudy. Chance for showers developing or building into the area by mid to late afternoon. Highs make it into the lower 80s. Winds turn to the west-southwest around 5 miles per hour. Thursday night, shower chances continue. Lows head back. And then sunshine for Friday and highs reach 79. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 66.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Wednesday morning, midweek. Later on, open phones, and at 11 o'clock, Our Kids World, an event being put on by WSGW in cooperation with Sarah. We'll tell you more about that later on Focus. We're going to start out this hour, though, talking about something that's very much in the news, a disease called monkeypox and how it's transmitted. And we'll answer some of those questions this morning with our special guests. First of all, from Great Lakes Pride, we say good morning to Scott Ellis. Good morning to you. Morning, Scott. Hello.
Morning, Art. I'm here. Good morning.
And also with us is the health officer of the Saginaw County Health Department. We say good morning to Christine Harrington. Good morning, Christine.
Hi, good morning, Art. Good to see you.
All right, let's start. Let's start. Christina, start with an overview of monkeypox, what it is, and how prevalent is it?
Sure. Monkeypox is not a new disease. It's actually existed for quite some time. It's endemic in some parts of our world. It is a virus. So as we talk about bacteria and viruses, monkeypox or MPV is a virus. What we are currently seeing is some outbreaks occurring across the globe right now. We know some of the cases started in the UK, and we are experiencing some cases here in the United States. Our case update in the United States right now is just over 15,000 cases, no deaths, so that's a good thing. This disease isn't really causing a lot of severe illness or deaths, or hospitalization, so that's always a good thing as we start to look at disease transmission. In Michigan, we have 143 reported cases, and we do have one case that's been identified in our Great Lakes Bay region in Bay County. So what we're currently seeing in terms of the transmission of monkeypox and what folks need to know most about the signs and symptoms and what to look for is a rash. So as we think about those traditional pox diseases, the monkeypox virus is actually similar to a smallpox type virus. It's actually derived from there, and it looks more, most people haven't seen smallpox, right? We've eradicated the disease in the 70s. So what people could probably more equate it to would be chickenpox. So those pox that occur all over the body, they can occur anywhere on the body, actually. And they go through stages. So it might start to look just like a red bump, and then maybe start to look like a blister that may pop and ooze, and then it'll scab over and then eventually heal. So it goes through stages. It usually can last about 2 to 4 weeks. And from the time that you may get exposed to the virus from someone, it could take 3 weeks before you start to get any signs and symptoms. So the rash is the biggest thing here.
How long does it last through its normal cycle? How long would you expect to have it if you caught it?
2 to 4 weeks typically. So I think the average is about 3, but it can range anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks from the time that rash starts. And you can be contagious from the time that those symptoms start until your skin is completely healed. So that means like the pustules and the scabs and all of that are gone, and you have new healthy skin. So you can be contagious for most of the duration of that illness.
Scott, most of the news in terms of transmission seems to revolve around the gay community, particularly gay men.
Mm-hmm.
What's the reaction from the community?
Well, the reaction is concern. I mean, we've seen this before in the 1980s and early 90s with the AIDS epidemic. And while monkeypox is not a sexually transmitted infection, it is most often spreading via intimate contact. So, there are some similarities, some other stark differences, but for a community that has folks who identify as men who have sex with men, then, there is a concern there about a higher risk for possibly contracting the virus.
So, Christina, I have to ask, is that risk any higher for two men than it is for a husband and wife passing the disease between themselves?
No, that can be definitely done. So what we're seeing in that transmission, it really is transmitted by direct, prolonged skin-to-skin contact. So any individuals engaging in any sort of intimate, if someone has a rash, and it looks like it could be monkeypox, and they have that intimate contact where it's really direct skin-on-skin exposure, right? So, we're not seeing transmission. You don't have to worry about getting it at the movie theater or work or school or being transmitted like we've seen with, COVID or other diseases. It really is that direct and prolonged. So just because you touch somebody's skin doesn't mean necessarily you're going to get monkeypox either. We're seeing it prolonged direct skin-to-skin exposure. So it could be a man giving it to a wife. We have seen, I think, although it's been a really rare instance, but transmission from a woman who gave it to a child because she was breastfeeding the child, right? So during breastfeeding, there is some direct prolonged skin-to-skin exposure. But the 97% of the transmission that we've seen has been amongst men, particularly, and those with, I would say, multiple intimate partners are really those that are at highest risk here.
So, Scott, what's the message to the community?
We want to make sure that we're getting accurate information out, and that's why we put together this Great Lakes Bay Regional Task Force. We come together, we agree on messaging, and so much of it is guided by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and then we're all adapting it to our Great Lakes Bay regional community. So we want to get information out there and then also talk about the availability of vaccines in our region. So the good news with this is we do have a vaccine. And, we don't have a ton of it available, but we do have some available. And for those at highest risk and who are eligible right now, based on the state's criteria, are pretty available to get one here in our region.
What's that criteria?
I'll go to Chris. Do you want to take that one?
Sure. Yeah. So folks, that think they may qualify. So right now, just as Scott mentioned, we don't have thousands and thousands of doses because what we're trying to do in our public health response is target those that are at highest risk, like we just talked about. So folks can call their local health departments wherever they live, and they can say, I think, maybe I qualify. Folks that we're really looking to vaccinate right now, I would say are again, going back to people who have multiple intimate partners. those are folks that qualify. So that you could be a men, women. That could be, the criteria that the state has outlined includes folks who may be having sex for drugs or money. So whether it's a sex work, those that are planning to have multiple partners, those are all folks that qualify, or those that know they may attend what the state is deeming a high risk event, which is basically, parties and clubs where minimal clothing is worn and there's sort of that direct skin and skin contact exposure at these locations. Those folks all qualify to be vaccinated. And that's in this post-exposure or pre-post exposure prophylaxis, or what we're calling PEP++. So those folks can call, and staff will go through sort of an assessment to see if they qualify. And if they do qualify, then we'll get them vaccinated.
These are not the kind of qualifications people stand on a rooftop and shout, "Look at me, I have multiple partners," and all of that.
Right.
Is there a hesitation, Scott, in the community to come forward to get the treatment?
I think that, folks in our community, especially given the historic nature of viruses impacting a particular community more severely than the general population, has actually inspired our community to seek out those opportunities for vaccination. So, we're getting questions about, hey, how can I do this? Can I call the local health department? And the answer is yes. And we have some really good responses to give people, because we do have vaccines and we do have, those criteria, like Christina mentioned, are broad. So we're able to, reach out. And I can't speak to exactly what the screeners at each health department, are asking, but I imagine it is, do you meet one of these qualifications? And it's a yes or no. And they're not deep diving into how you qualify or verifying necessarily that you qualify, because you have to turn over a history of partners or whatever that may be.
All right, gang, hang on. I've got to take a break. We'll come back and talk more with Scott Ellis from Great Lakes Pride and Christina Harrington, the health officer from the Saginaw County Health Department, here on the Art Lewis Show. We will be back.
Wednesdays are for winning at Saginaw Eagles Landing. Now through September 28th, you can cash in on Hump Day. That's right. On Wednesdays from 9:30 a.m. till 9:30 p.m., we're giving away $1,000 cash every hour. So get some cash in on Hump Day, now through September 28th, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
The dollar is in grave danger as Russia and China recruit more nations into their anti-dollar alliance known as BRICS. If this continues, how much longer until the dollar is worthless? Stephen K. Bannon here. I urge you to get Birch Gold's free info kit on safeguarding your savings into a gold IRA. To get, text the word safeguard to 989898. With inflation continuing to explode, it's critical you take action today. Text safeguard to 989898 right now.
If you want to start the semester strong, Staples has you covered.
A gaming chair for my dorm. A desk chair for studying.
Staples has you covered.
A better way to organize my stuff instead of using milk crates.
A desk lamp to help me pull all-nighters.
Staples has you covered with remote workspace solutions. And now get 25% off desks, filing and storage solutions, lighting and decor with the purchase of any chair. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 9/24. In-store only.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Durable goods orders held steady last month at the same level as June. Economists were predicting an increase. The reading measures orders for expensive manufactured from airplanes to refrigerators. The Wall Street focus continues to be what Fed Chair Jerome Powell will say on Friday from the Fed's summer meeting in Jackson Hole. Peloton will be selling its products on Amazon. Previously, its exercise equipment and accessories were only available through Peloton. Nordstrom shares are losing ground after lowering its outlook for the year. Home builder Toll Brothers also lowered its forecast. Though Bed Bath & Beyond shares are getting a boost from the Wall Street Journal report saying it has financing to pay down debt and continue operations. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ground ball to third base. Cody Clemens fields down to scope one. Relay to first. Inning ending. 5-4-3 double play.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you talking to Scott Ellis from Great Lakes Pride and Christina Harrington, the health officer from the Saginaw County Health Department. Christina, we also heard in the news, and sometimes you have to question health reporting because it's not always accurate, but there were reports that you could pick up the monkeypox virus by touching something that someone else touched. Can you?
So technically, yes, you can. If someone has that rash or those pustules, if the body fluids get on objects, again, if you have some prolonged contact to that object, like bedding, for example, someone sleeping who has monkeypox sleeps in the bed and then the sheets aren't washed and you get in the bed and sleep in the bed, it can be transmitted that way. It typically isn't being seen through sort of that community level, right? So I touch a doorknob and then you touch the doorknob again, it's not prolonged. The risk there is relatively low. So, it's managing what we're seeing in terms of spread and how it can be spread and making sure that, people are educated about those pieces are important.
And I want to talk about the vaccine for a minute. Our health department's the only place. Can you get the vaccine elsewhere? Can you go into the local pharmacy or your doctor's office?
Currently, no. It's pretty much just at local health departments right now because the supply is so limited. Local health departments are there to, again, assess those that meet the qualifications and provide it. But pretty much all the local health departments have doses on hand or have access to quick doses on hand.
Why do we know, Scott or Christina, why it seemed to spread so much in the gay men's community as opposed to heterosexuals who also spend a lot of time together in intimate situations? Why that segment seems to be the core of the problem? Scott?
Well, I don't think we can point exactly to, why it may have appeared in a particular community at all. I mean, we could look at that for any virus or disease, that impacts, children, older adults, anything like that. I don't have an answer for that. I don't think anybody does. There are obviously risk factors that may increase the potential for more rapid transmission in a particular community. So, that could have been a factor there. But I know we can't, pinpoint exactly why it's impacting a community, but we know what it is. And so we know how to address that now.
Christina?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to sort of pinpoint, as we do any outbreak investigation, we always try to determine, right, the source. And so wherever, sort of the first index case that got monkeypox, spread it through this intimate partnership that included multiple partners, right? So that's just the nature of the disease. Disease spread isn't random. So that's why we have to learn quickly about how it's being spread and how transmissible it is and what's occurring. So going as far upstream as possible is important. And that's why we want to educate the community, because the more spread that we continue to have, then we're going to see it jumping to other groups. Just as we mentioned earlier, that anyone with that direct skin on skin exposure can happen. So that's really the important piece as we move down this road. But knowing that predominantly it's still within a certain population, and I think because of just multiple partners as well, it increases that risk. The more people you expose.
Scott, let me ask, and you mentioned this earlier, of course, this is not the first time the community's been singled out because of a particular virus. AIDS is well documented. Did the gay community learn anything from AIDS? And because of that, are they more receptive now to hearing about this disease and its prevention?
I think that there was not ever really a reluctance to hear information about it within this community. The reluctance was external from the community. So, with this, with time, we did learn more about the HIV/AIDS epidemic more broadly in the community, at large, not just the LGBT community. And so I think with this case coming up, our community is definitely receptive to getting those vaccines, taking precautions to prevent the spread of this. We understand deeply, what this means to the community. It's about educating the rest of the community and making sure that we're on top of this, because those were the failures during the AIDS epidemic, not acknowledging what was happening. There was absolutely no attention given to it from a number of different governmental agencies and perspectives. And, we saw what went wrong there, and we want to make sure that we're getting ahead of that now.
From your standpoint, is the response, particularly from government, better than it was during AIDS?
Yes. I know in our community, we're definitely hearing from folks that, they want to see things move quicker, and they want, to make sure that we're getting more vaccines into the country and all of that. And there are a number of factors that are limiting how quickly all of that stuff can happen. We are moving quickly. Could we always move quicker? Yes. Will we always have folks demanding that we move quicker? Yes. I don't think there's a perfect solution there, but the fact is we are all coming together working on this at the state level, at the federal level. And here in the Great Lakes Bay region, we've got a 4-county task force plus the Michigan Health Improvement Alliance. Nobody else in Michigan has a task force like we do. We really did come together and make sure that we were getting this information out in a efficient and effective way. And we're going to continue doing that until, we've mitigated this concern.
Christina, somebody who believes they may be in jeopardy because of their lifestyle or what have you, and they want the vaccine, what do they need to do? Where do they call? Who do they talk to?
Call their local health department. In Saginaw, you can call our hotline, which is 989-758-3828. and talk to our staff who will go through the risk assessment. And if you qualify for the vaccine and you wish to have it, we'll get you scheduled for it.
Is there a website where people can get more information?
Yeah, there's obviously the CDC's got a great website, right on the homepage of cdc.gov. There's Monkeypox has replaced the COVID banner. So folks can see it there. State of Michigan's got a good website as well, michigan.gov/MPV, and also SaginawPublicHealth.org. We have a monkeypox page as well with our risk assessment on there. Lots of information, and of course the number to call to see if you want to be vaccinated.
And Scott, how about information from your side? Is there a website?
We don't have a website up for this right now. What Great Lakes Bay Pride is doing is coordinating an email blast out to our community, and we've done a couple of those so far. We're also making sure that our Facebook page is updated, each time this goes out, sharing those contact numbers for the health departments, and making sure folks know how to access that info. We're also referring to our local health department's websites for the eligibility criteria, because that potentially changes weekly, if not multiple times a week from the state. So they're keeping it updated, and we're linking out to those things. But you can contact us, and we'll help connect you to your local health department.
Well, guys, thanks for spending some time with us. Christina, I have one question for you outside the scope of this. We've all heard that there is another COVID vaccine coming out which will address the more modern types of COVID that we've seen, the Omicrons. Is that vaccine available yet, or when will it be available, and what would be the qualifications?
Yeah, the bivalent COVID vaccine. So our manufacturers of Pfizer and Moderna have worked on that to incorporate the Omicron variant into booster doses available. And we were just notified yesterday their pre-ordering can begin, I think, as soon as next week. And so it'll start to be available in the very near future for folks who are looking to get those booster doses.
Very good. Thanks. Scott, thank you for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, Art.
You're welcome. Christina, thank you. Appreciate it.
Art.
Have a good day, both of you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, you too.
All right, so the latest on the monkeypox virus and its spread and prevention. And we thank our guests for being with us. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the Art Lewis Show right through 11 o'clock.
I know Michiganders are seeing rising prices at the gas pump, pharmacy counter, and the grocery store. This is Dan Kildee, and my top priority is fighting inflation. I've introduced legislation to suspend the federal gas tax, cap the cost of insulin, and lower prices at the grocery store by improving supply chains. I'll keep working with Democrats and Republicans in Congress to lower costs for you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100. Fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates. While other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
I want to take more chances with the embroidering.
Henley's vision for a new clothing line is coming into focus.
Dramatic.
They'll need an on-staff photographer to put their collection in the spotlight.
Why is no one taking shots of these?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews. Dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Daylight Outfitters. You are going to get 1 hour of axe throwing for a group of 4 or 1 hour of video archery for a group of 4 for only $40. It's usually $80, but you are getting it half off. Daylight Outfitters is located at 664 West Isabella Road in Midland. Axe throwing participants must be 10 and up. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
On the next show, Biden thinks justice is middle-class black people paying for white liberals' gender studies PhDs.
You mean it isn't? Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Thanks to our guests, Scott Ellis and Christina Harrington. I did get an email from a listener, Brian, who asked, why isn't Pride and the government crying out for a lockdown on lifestyle behavior that spreads this disease? How is this any different from COVID? Well, I'm not an expert, Brian, but I can pretty much give you the answer that they're going to give. This is not COVID. It's not a pandemic. It's not nearly as deadly. It's not nearly as transmissible. It's an entirely different beast. It's certainly not having the planetary effect that COVID had. Two different animals. Couple of things that I've picked out of the headlines today that are worth talking about. This one is, I think, just as important as talking about monkeypox, COVID, and all those other variants of diseases that we all live with every day. This is a study done by Texas Tech University. Obsessively watching the news can make you mentally and physically sick. That is what this research found in Americans that were surveyed. Those who are obsessively following the news suffer from both physical and mental health problems, including anxiety and stress. Those who constantly check the latest headlines end up with significantly greater physical ill-being than those that tune in less often. Constantly keeping up on the latest developments can lead to a vicious cycle where people always check for more updates rather than tuning out after a quick look. And the researchers said this can start interfering with people's personal lives, leaving them feeling powerless and distressed about global events including the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, climate change, all of these things. The survey found 16.5% of participants in the experiment showed signs of severely problematic news consumption. They become so immersed and personally invested in news stories that current events dominated their thoughts, disrupted their time with family and friends, and made it difficult to focus on schoolwork, and contributed to restlessness or inability to sleep. I find it's an interesting study. And I know people who are obsessed with the news. That's all they do. Not including myself and other individuals that do what I do for a living, because that's part of our job description. But we learn how to separate ourselves from it. And let me talk about that for a minute. You know, we talk about on this program everything from lighthearted topics to the heaviest of the heavy. And a lot of politics, granted. And I am a news junkie because I have to be. I have a lot of news sources that I check every day, all day sometimes. Both sides, by the way. I don't just seek out the opinions of those who agree with me. I look for both sides of the argument. But those of us who do this professionally have learned how to separate ourselves from the news, from the day's events, so that it does not interfere with our private lives, including at home. For example, my wife and I disagree on a lot of topics. We rarely discuss them. We don't need to. She has her views and her opinions, and I respect that, and I have mine. And we don't spend all day dwelling on it. That would lead to the kinds of depression and illness that they talk about in this study. So we learn how to separate ourselves from the day's events. And I think in the last 5 or 6 years, people have become so invested in the politics of the day and the news of the day as to lose sight as to what's important in their own personal lives aside from the news. I hope that's not true, but I believe it, in some cases it is. I have come across in the last 6, 7 years more people obsessed with the news, both on this program and in the real world that I go into every day. I have found more and more people, that's all they want to talk about. That's all they're interested in. I feel sorry for them. There is more to life. There really is. I got to take a quick break. Lines are open for you. If you have something you'd like to chat about, that or anything else, you can give us a call. I want to chat about Thalen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Bay City, where they have some new vehicles on the lot, and they have a continuing pipeline of new vehicles. And you can go online to thinkthalen.com and complete 80% of a purchase of a vehicle online. And then just come in, sign the paperwork, and drive away in the vehicle. They have new vehicles arriving all the time. Find out what they are. Maybe one of them meets your needs. Put your name on it. Or go online and build your own vehicle. And don't forget, if maybe you're not looking for a new vehicle, maybe you're looking for a newer vehicle. You want to move up into a newer pre-owned car or truck. The Thalen Auto Group on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City has pre-owned and inspected vehicles from all of the Thalen dealerships in one place right there on North Euclid Avenue, offering you one of the largest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region. After you find the car of your dreams, sit down with a Thalen representative, strike the best deal you can, drive away with the car the same day. That's what you can do at Thalen. Remember, the Thalen family has been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. Online, thinkthalen.com. Stop in, visit them today. You'll be glad you did.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Support small and keep the community alive. Our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market continues to have fresh produce and good eats, global flavors and American favorites. Sandwich and Cobb King keep all our indoor eats exciting. Sweet treats with the one and only delicious sweets. And our retail therapy from Thrive Creative Innovations and welcoming Ohana Clothing. Support small at the SVRC Marketplace. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Join us on 28th for our Rides on the Riverfront event as we collaborate with Exclusive Car Club. $10 registration, 9 to 5 p.m. Best in Show with a $200 prize in top 40. Live entertainment, drinks from the boardroom, and food right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Mark your calendars for Riverfront Revelry SVRC Cornhole Tournament on September 24th. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we hope at the market.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Choose the proven performance of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, featuring high-yielding Extend Flex soybeans and the exceptional weed control of herbicide with Vapor Grip technology, elite genetics, triple herbicide tolerance that delivers results backed by 25 years of innovation. That's the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice. Extendamax is a restricted use pesticide. Always follow stewardship practices, all pesticide label directions, and check with your state pesticide regulatory agency. Directions in your state.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers. Learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
There's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW online poll, football 20. The college and pro season's ready to kick off. Michigan spectacular last season, winning the Big Ten championship, finishing 12-2. Michigan State impressive, winning the Peach Bowl, finishing 11-2. Lions only won 3 games, but did beat 2 playoff teams later in the year, Green Bay and Atlanta. Can Michigan and Michigan State continue great, gutsy, gridiron play? Will the Lions' appearance on HBO's Hard Knocks? Football? Poll question. What team do you predict to win the most games this season? Wolverines, Spartans, Lions. All 3 will tie. Or you can choose the Wolverines and Spartans, Wolverines and Lions, or the Spartans Lions. Make your choice by going to WSGW.com, scrolling on the homepage, clicking on the poll box, and making your vote.
You would always think, hey, the Lions play more games, right?
Yeah, never in all the years that we have to.
Could that change?
Could this be the year?
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, and to the phones, Mark in St. Helen. Mark, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, we have a 7 days until we have what I would say a victory for the climate change. Not one named storm as far as a hurricane in the month of August. So
yeah.
Hurricane season has kicked off. And so that's a 50-year benchmark that hasn't been achieved.
Yeah, I read
that.
that.
So hats off to the climate change. What's that?
I read that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't understand why we're not talking about that more as far as climate change. But keeping on the theme of climate change, how come they don't talk about radiant heat? I mean, in the United States, we have thousands and thousands of roads. We have thousands and thousands of buildings. And in the summertime, when these metal roofs and buildings all heat up, it takes a while for that to cool down once the sun sets. So isn't it like radiant heat more of a climate change issue than carbon and so forth?
I don't think you want them talking about it because it would go against your views. Because in order for radiant heat to increase, the heat providing the radiant heat has to increase. In other words, temperatures have to be hotter. Temperatures hotter, radiant heat gets hotter. So I don't think you want to use that argument. I think you probably want to stay away from that one.
Well, no, but
you understand what I'm saying, right? Well, you understand what I'm saying, though. In order for that radiant heat to get hot, it has to be heated by a source. The source is what climate change. Listen, if I heat that blacktop with 80-degree weather, I'm going to get a certain amount of radiant heat, right? If I heat it with 98-degree weather, I'm going to get that radiant heat plus, right?
Correct.
All right. So the more external heat you put on, the more radiant heat you derive.
Well, what I'm saying is why can't we make a product out there to where it shields rooftops and buildings?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's an interesting question. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
I mean, because we keep building and building and building, and I guess every little footprint contributes to it. But if you can come up with something to curb it, so anyhow.
But that's an interesting concept.
All right, sir.
All right, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Take care.
Errol, morning. We got 2 minutes. Go.
Okay. You think I've mellowed over the last number of years? Sir?
No.
The problem is people watch that news all the time and they believe it rather than filtering it out. And over the years, you know all the hobbies that I have. And I finally got into stained glass and wood carving and stuff like that. And I don't turn that box on until maybe about 7 o'clock at night when the garbage is all
Well, you know, think about this, Errol. We're old enough to remember the days when there were 3 types of news. You turned on the radio, you got it immediate. Right now, we can tell you when it happened. Then you turned on the television later on and you saw the pictures. And then if you sat down with the newspaper, you got all the details. That was the way you got your news. You did it at certain times of the day, and that was it. Now there's 24-hour news cycles. You can't get away from it.
Well, you know, when I was younger and I had a bad day when Rush Limbaugh was around, he took the wrath of my hammer through the TV set with his mouth. And I've done that before. I've done that on a couple of occasions over the years, but I've kind of mellowed out. But you got to quit listening to that stuff. I know you have hobbies too, and you've got to get away from it.
All right.
Forget about it.
Got to run, buddy. I'm out of time. We'll talk again. Take care, Earl. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. We'll be back to close out this hour.
Farming is more than a livelihood. It's a legacy. Simplot was founded by a hardworking farmer like you, and we've been growing America's farms for generations. With local crop advisors grounded in your success, Simplot Grower Solutions is in your fields and by your side. We dig in deep to pinpoint what you need, where you need it, when you need it, even when the forecast is unpredictable. Find your local crop advisor at simplotgrowersolutions.com.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saginaw Landing. See Back in Black rock the music of AC/DC on August 11th. Then Terry Lee Goffey performs the world's greatest Johnny Cash experience on August 25th. Also on the south side of Worth Road and include $10 free play for adults. Saginaw Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-landing.com for complete rules and details.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
All right, we'll head up toward the top of the hour here, and then we will be back with an open line edition of the Art Lewis Show all next hour here on WSGW. But first, the news from CBS and the local report telling you what's happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. That's all ahead.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. There could be relief in sight. Pay off student loans. President Biden's expected to unveil a plan to forgive $10,000 in debt for Americans who earn under $125,000 a year. Correspondent Jim Krasula.
Andrea Cuevas faces a huge debt after graduating from Washington State University in 2020 with a criminal justice degree.
I'm doing all my loans. I owe about like $80,000.
She does have one regret.
I wish I had more education on how to reach certain scholarships.
Cuevas has a goal of paying off her student debt within 5 years.
It's not the first day of school many students had hoped for in Columbus, Ohio. CBS's Elise Preston is there.
This ongoing strike means no one will be in class here today. Students will begin the school year online with many taught by substitute.
Union members want higher salaries, smaller class sizes, and curriculums that include art, music, and gym. Ukraine is marking its Independence Day by displaying burned-out Russian tanks in Kyiv. President Zelensky warning of possible strikes on civilians. Sergei Lyshenko is a former member of Ukraine's parliament.
We have quite strong concerns that Russia will use this symbolic day to concentrate more military aggression and to show Ukraine that this war started 6 months ago, so we are prepared.
Today, President Biden announced $3 billion in new U.S. military aid to Ukraine. Former Governor Charlie Crist is celebrating his win in Florida's Democratic primary by enumerating differences with the current governor, Ron DeSantis.
The guy is anti-democracy, I'll be pro-democracy. He's anti-women, I'll be pro-women. He's anti-African American, I'm pro-African.
Congressman Jerry Nadler's defeated his colleague Carolyn Maloney in the battle to represent a redrawn district in New York. The remains of a missing Tucson woman have been found in Utah. Correspondent Steve Kathan.
Utah's Zion National Park ended with the discovery of the body of a 29-year-old hiker who was swept away during flooding. And in the Dallas area, Gene Anulak is among the flood victims assessing damage.
Hopefully the insurance we have can help rebuild this place.
A teenage pilot could claim a first today. CBS's Vicki Barker at the foreign desk.
When Matt Rutherford touches down at a Bulgarian airstrip a little while from now, he'll break the world record, which currently stands at 18. The Belgian-British team turned 17 after starting his round-the-world bid in March.
Dow down 39. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort. Indeed, their hiring solution platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the Macintoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the Macintoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
The pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing all cylinders.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building. 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News. It's 73 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. With another school year starting, the YMCA of Saginaw is partnering with the Saginaw Boys and Girls Club to offer an after-school program beginning August 29th. Students will have tutoring, as well as participate in sports, swimming, art, and community service. Children aged 6 to 11 can be enrolled for the fall semester, which runs from August 29th to December 16th. The semester begins September 6th for 12 to 18-year-olds. Registration is open at the Saginaw Boys and Girls Club's website or at the YMCA front desk. Today is move-in day for freshmen on the Saginaw Valley State University campus. University officials say residence halls will be filled to capacity for the new academic year. About 100 more freshman students will be living on campus than last year, with about 70% of incoming freshmen choosing on-campus housing. Move in today. Other students will be moving in through Saturday. The website Niche ranks SVSU's student housing number 1 in the nation among public universities in its annual Best Dorms list. Here's something to think about as your children go off to college. Is there renter's insurance on the house or dorm room for personal items? Here's business editor Murray Feldman.
70% of campus crimes are thefts, and the latest figures show more than 60,000 burglaries and robberies occur in college dorms every year. Experts advise students to hide their personal belongings, lock them up if they can, engrave electronics items. That's often a deterrent to theft. Use insurance. It only costs a couple of $100 a year. It can cover items that are lost or stolen.
A recount for a Bridgeport Township trustee seat in the Democratic Party is over. Roger Rosales demanded the recount after losing the seat by only 23 votes to Brandel Adams. During the recount, the Saginaw County Board of Canvassers found an extra 3 votes in Rosales' favor, but it still wasn't enough to beat Adams. The final tally was 521 to 501. At least one of the vote changes was due to voter error, according to the Board of Canvassers. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Facebook at ATS Midland. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
Presents an exclusive Levion event. One day only at each Branham's location, West Branch, August 24th, East Tawas, August 25th. Explore stunning jewelry from the artisans of Levion. Schedule and attend an appointment for this event and receive a free goodie bag. You can also take advantage of up to 36 months of 0% financing with approved credit. One day only at each location, West Branch, August 24th, East Tawas, August 25th. Visit Branham's online at michigansjeweler.com.
WSGW 8. 2 Huron County beaches are closed due to elevated bacteria levels. Bird Creek Bathing Beach and Veterans Park Bathing Beach are closed until further notice after recent testing of water samples by the Huron County Health Department found E. coli levels exceed state standards on human body contact. The beaches will remain closed until tests determine that the bacteria levels are once again safe for humans. There's more concern about Michigan dogs experiencing parvovirus-like symptoms. The outbreak has killed 30 dogs in Otzi, but it's unclear what virus the dogs had. While the dogs that died had parvo-like symptoms, they tested negative for the virus. Melissa Fitzgerald, director of the Wsgw County Animal Control and Shelter, says it's important that veterinarians communicate what they're seeing with individual dogs.
As a veterinarian, if you see something like this, contact the state, contact the Department of Agriculture, contact MSU.
Veterinarians to communicate in northern Michigan because there are so few of them. Authorities in the Upper Peninsula are searching for suspects who vandalized the Bay Mills Indian Community Cultural Center. The chair of the center says in a social media post that the vandals broke a window in the back of the center to get inside. Along with damaging the building, several cultural items were also destroyed. The investigation is being led by the Bay Mills Police Department. Is a small cargo van about to go away?
Ford's Transit Connect, which was a North American Truck of the Year when it debuted, is discontinued. Nissan, GM, Mercedes, and others have also retired their products. Ford isn't commenting, but Automotive News says the Transit Connect will end its run next year, a victim of poor sales.
Autobee reporter Jeff Gilbert says at the same time, Ford is increasing the availability of its larger transit van. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Few spotty showers and thunderstorms possible late today. Otherwise, a blend of clouds and sunshine develops a high into the mid-80s, while winds out of per hour. And then for tonight, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms early on. Partly cloudy skies, low near 63. Thursday, a chance for rain showers here late, mostly cloudy, high of 82 degrees. Then on Friday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 79. Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high of 83. And on Sunday, partial sunshine develops a high around 87. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 71.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome back. Hour number 2, the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio. Nice to have you with us on this Wednesday morning. Open phones for the hour. You can call 989-752-6111 and join us on the air here on WSGW. It's that simple. And we would love to chat with you. A couple of things to talk about this hour. One of which, it's hard to know who's right or wrong in this issue, but you may have heard in the news recently that the state of Michigan gave Ford $100 million of your taxpayer money as an incentive for building electric vehicles. And the qualifications which were announced by the governor and Ford executives in Mackinac Island recently. The company would invest $2 billion to create 3,200 new hourly jobs in Michigan as part of a massive global transition to expand its electric vehicle market. And there was a sweetener. As long as Ford invested more than $1 billion and created at least 3,030 hourly jobs in 5 key Michigan sites by June of 2024, it would receive more than $100 million in taxpayer-funded incentives. Here's the issue. So Ford now has on its plate $100 million of your money. Guess what they announced this week? They plan to cut 3,000 jobs globally, with a significant number of them in Michigan, the rest in Canada and India. The MEDC was questioned as to whether they knew these layoffs were coming before the awarding of the $100 million. So far, they haven't answered that question other than to say they have a strong line of communications with Ford. I would think for $100 million, we probably don't deserve 3,000 job cuts. So they're going to create 3,030 jobs. They cut 3,000 jobs. So what are they creating? 30 jobs for your $100 million? Now, I understand financial incentives to corporations to try and get them to build in Michigan and to stay in Michigan. We've talked to Ken Horn about that a lot. He's a leading proponent of it. And it's a good thing. You know, you have to be competitive with all the other states. Tennessee was a lesson when Ford announced they were going to build their battery plants down there. And those were thousands of jobs we weren't going to get here in Michigan. So we turn around and give them money, $100 million worth, only to get kind of a slap in the face. I'd be curious as to what the MEDC and the governor knew before they decided to give away the $100 million. You know, how much did they know? Did they know, for example, that they required Ford to create 3,030 jobs, but also knew that they were going to cut 3,000 jobs in the process? Because from where I sit, in order for Ford to meet the qualifications of that $100 million, they need now to create 6,030 jobs. The 3,030 new jobs they promised, plus the 3,000 they just cut. Otherwise, all they're doing is creating 30 new jobs. Is that worth $100 million? So while I believe in incentives, I believe also there has to be consequences. I had an occasion a couple of years ago to sit in on a meeting with the mayor of Detroit, Mike Duggan. It was about economic development. And I asked the question because he is a master at economic development. There's no two ways about it. Duggan is highly skilled at getting people to develop in the city of Detroit. And with those incentives comes a contract and requirements. And Mike was asked, the mayor was asked, what happens if they don't meet it? Well, the contract includes language that says you don't get any money. If we promised you incentives and you promised us to create certain numbers of jobs and make certain investments, and you don't do it, then you don't get any of our money. I would hope the state has that kind of caveat in their incentivization of business. If they're going to incentivize business with money, what are the consequences if you don't live up to it? Because as taxpayers, Remember, it's our money. That $100 million, no matter where they got it from, whether it's federal, whether it's state, whatever, it's our money. We provided it. It's taxpayer dollars. So we should know that there's good stewardship, and that if a company doesn't live up to it, they shouldn't get the money. Now, I have, on the other side of this coin is I have little doubt that Ford will live up to it, that they're going to make the $2 billion investment in plants and what have you, because the way it's going, we all know that electric vehicles are the wave of the future, and the companies are making big investments, and all of these people that were laid off, the 3,000 that are going to be laid off, pretty much have responsibility for petrol-fueled engines, for gasoline, diesel engines, which are not going to be needed in the future in terms of quantity, in terms of technology and new ones. There won't be many that come along because the thrust is going to be on EVs. So, yeah, I understand that they don't need 3,000 engine developers, but they do need 3,000 electric vehicle developers. But I don't know that that was part of the pledge to give them $100 million. Because as I said before, if it was that they had to create 3,030 new jobs, well, then by getting rid of 3,000, they're only creating 30 jobs. So I'm saying in order to create the 3,030 jobs, first you have to create 3,000 new jobs to replace the ones you're losing, and then 3,030 jobs on top of that. Maybe I'm way off base, but it just irks me when I hear that the state is giving away our money, and then they won't answer questions about what they knew before they gave away the money. So just thought I'd bring that up. Got it off my chest. Feel better now. That's what it's all about. You can give me a call, 989-752-6111. Whatever's on your mind, let's chat about it.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Daylight Outfitters. You are going to get 1 hour of axe throwing for a group of 4 or 1 hour of video archery for a group of 4 for only $40. It's usually $80, but you are getting it half off. Daylight Outfitters is located at 664 West Isabella Road in Midland. Axe throwing participants must be 10 and up. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 3 weeks. Presto! You're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and Business Report.
Stocks opened flat and turned lower. Investors are waiting for Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech on the economy on Friday. Durable goods orders were unchanged last month. Economists were hoping for an improvement. Nordstrom lowered its forecast for the year, and its stock is losing ground. Its recent quarter was stronger than forecast, but it sees lower sales and profit this year. Toll Brothers is also lowering its forecast. The home builder says higher mortgage rates are cutting into home buying. However, the Wall Street Journal says Bed Bath & Beyond has secured financing to help with its debt and to keep it operating. And the Tesla share stockholders own 3 shares for everyone they owned as of last Wednesday. The new shares start trading tomorrow. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
The dollar is in grave danger as Russia and China recruit more nations into their anti-dollar alliance known as BRICS. If this continues, how much longer until the dollar is worthless? Stephen K. Bannon here. I urge you to get Birch Gold's free info kit on sheltering your savings with a gold IRA. To get your free copy, text the word shelter to 989898. With inflation continuing to explode, it's critical you take action today. Text shelter to 9898 right now.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You could win a family 4-pack of tickets to see the Tigers play just for signing up for the WSGW newsletter. The WSGW newsletter is free. It will arrive in your inbox each weekday morning. You'll find links to the top local news stories covered by WSGW. Local news from Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and the surrounding Great Lakes Bay region. Get signed up for the WSGW newsletter by September 7th for your chance to win tickets. Sign up online at WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you on WSGW, and callers are stacked up here. Rudy is in Saginaw. Rudy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you are.
That's good. Just a couple of comments. We were down in Detroit a couple months ago. We were by the old Michigan Central station, railroad station, and Ford bought that, and they're turning that into an electric facility for research and development.
Right.
That's going to spin off a lot of jobs, and engineers need to be hired. The problem that we're going to electric cars is, growing up here in Saginaw, and I'm sure where you grew up in New York, it was always the same thing. There was a gas station on every corner. We don't have that with electric charging stations.
Not yet.
And that's a big problem.
Well,
and if these companies are going to invest all this money to go into making all these cars, we better have the way to charge them.
You're going to hear more and more of that. We've already heard it in the news this week. There's going to be a company putting charging stations, I think I heard, in Kroger parking lots, if I'm not mistaken. But you're going to hear more and more about that. The bigger question is, can the power companies then supply the electricity needed to make these things all work at the same time?
Exactly.
So that's an issue now. Consumers absolutely and vehemently says absolutely we can. Okay, it's up to you to prove it, I guess. We'll find out.
The governor moved ahead with closing all our fossil fuel plants, or closing most of them anyway. So we don't have enough solar or wind to get the grid going. Yeah, it's going to take a considerable more amount. They made some improvements in battery technology now. I just read the other day in Popular Mechanics, and it says that these new batteries can hold more charge, and they can be charged in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
So that would, even got a big gas tank that takes you about 7-8 minutes to fill up your tank, so that's getting close to what.
I look at the EV market right now the same way I would have if I were born in 1902 and looked at the cars that were on the road and going to be on the road. The automotive industry was in its infancy. The EV industry, in some ways, is in its infancy. In the same way that internal combustion engines developed from the Johnny One Pop John Deere motor and the internal combustion engine created by Daimler to what they are today, these massive, turbocharged 4s and 6s, there's 8s, there's 12 cylinders. We took quite a long time to get to that point where the engines are what they are today and how efficient they are. I think EVs are going to take that same path. It's going to be a while. Battery technology, I think we will hear incrementally improve in terms of range and capacity. And to me, that's a key. Before I buy an EV, I want to know that, I could drive from here to Detroit and back and not even have a concern as to whether or not I have enough power. I'm looking for 500 to 600 mile range, not 250.
And that makes driver, like a lot of people in Saginaw are retired. So I don't even drive $300 or $400 a week. If I could charge mine on Sunday night, like when maybe the rates are lower, that would last me the whole week. I'm just doing running errands here in the city.
Well, you can do that.
There is a lot of people that make their living, traveling. I understand.
And you can do that now. I had from Thalen, I had a couple of EVs. I think it was a year ago. I had an Audi e-tron for 4 days, and I had a Volkswagen i4 for 3 days. And I never had to charge them. I drove them back and forth to work. I drove it to Bay City and back. And I never charged it once, and it still had plenty of power when I got up there to give the cars back. So locally, it's not a problem. And you can, you built a charger in your garage and you're all set. And I know somebody that has a couple of Teslas, and that's what he has. He has a built-in charger in his garage, plugs the car in when he gets at home at night, and it sits there overnight. He's ready to go the next day. And
General Motors will do a free installation of your charging station if you buy an EV. So But like I said, I think most people in towns have an average commute of maybe less than 50 days. So I think it is feasible for them to convert over. But my whole problem is, are we going to charge 100 million vehicles or 200 million vehicles?
That's to be seen. You're absolutely right. That's to be seen. So, all right. All right, Randy. Hey, Rudy. Good. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Take care.
Right,
bye now, Rudy. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. Hey, back off on Rooney's topic a little bit. It's fine to have the charging station at your home, but if you're going to do some traveling, I was watching one of these programs on the EV, electric battery I've got. Tesla's charging setup is not compatible with brand B and brand C and half of the other ones that are out there. So you got to have a trunk full of adapters for some of this stuff. And then there's a switch inside if you're charging with AC or DC. And the DCs are the quick charge. And if you don't have the availability to quick charge, then you've got to sit there and plan a shopping trip or something that'll take several hours.
Yeah, but that's,
you're going to charge at the AC setup.
But that's not, that's not the future. You know that, Alan. I know that. The future is going to be a much improved system, and it will be more universal.
Right, but it won't happen in my lifetime. This
probably won't happen in mine either.
This is going to take 20 or...
Oh, yeah, I understand that. That's why I'm not running out and buying one.
Well, you're smart on that, because the folks that are out there buying it, they're the guinea pig market.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. The ones I know that own them, love them.
Oh, they love them.
Love them. Absolutely love them.
Sure.
So more power to them.
But they had to change their lifestyle to some extent to put up with the inconveniences, too.
The one guy I know with the Teslas, his lifestyle changed by when he comes home, he's got to plug it in. Whoopee.
Yeah.
That's his lifestyle. That's his lifestyle change. That was it.
I understand that. So don't forget to plug it in, though.
Well, he
doesn't. Won't be going anywhere maybe next morning.
He doesn't.
So, but it's interesting that I think the government's dropping the ball on this. They should have had a standardization on the plugs, the connector styles, and do away with some of the adapter business.
Well, that day may come. Who knows?
Yeah, that's one of the problems of it. And I see these people having to deal with all these different connectors, and not everybody is smart enough to be able to figure out. There's people that have problems plugging.
If you're buying an electric vehicle, you're going to be smart enough to know which plug you need. I'm not worried about that.
I hope they don't get dementia.
All right, good enough, Al. Thanks,
Arthur.
Have a good one.
Have a nice morning, sir.
You too. Bye now. All right, let's move on. Talk to Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning to you.
Hey, morning, Art.
Morning.
Hey, I wanted to pick up on our conversation we were having earlier in the week with your guest who was saying that the medical profession. later in your conversation with the nurse, I believe you were talking and you had made the comment that racism is taught at home. To that, to the most part, I agree with. But to put these scenarios together is what I'm supposed to believe then is these American boys and girls are being taught to be racist. As they get a little older, they say, how can I be more effective in my racism? So they decide to put themselves in debt by going to medical school, spend hundreds of hours to get a degree just to go to the hospital to give health care to somebody.
Well, let's understand this, Scott. It's individual. You can't paint. Yes. You can't paint everybody with the same brush. You and I both know, in the medical profession, like any other profession, there are those actors who have negative thoughts. That's the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
There are those doctors who probably think that way. Not all. Not all. And probably not the majority, I would hope. But there certainly are. And we heard that the other day. There was even a story about some of the foreign doctors that come over with prejudices from their home countries. And, you know, and it's interesting that if you were to go after those docs on the basis of their ethnicity and their nationality, they'd throw their arms up in the air screaming bloody murder, but yet they would turn around and do it to somebody else. And again, they're few and far between. Certainly not the majority of them, but there are those. In the same way, not everybody in society is biased. Not everybody in society is a racist, but there are those that are. And you can't put your head in the sand and ignore that. It's reality.
I agree.
So there we go. And I knew that. I see the other day, it was a bit contentious, and I didn't mean to be, but you know me, because we've had this conversation before. I don't like painting everybody with one brush. It doesn't work. So, you know, that was my challenge, if you will, to you. But I understood what you were saying. Understood it well.
Okay. I just didn't want, because our healthcare professionals have been through enough through this other garbage with COVID. Sure. I didn't want to be putting something else on these people. They have enough.
No, so it goes on some. That's all.
Yes, it does. I agree.
All right,
okay,
Scott.
I'll talk to you.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. Bye now. All right, we're going to take a pause here on the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you. You know, a 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years and even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today by calling 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. Now, this commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is here, the perfect time to save some money. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out all of our deals going on right now from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One Up Games and Repairs, JB's Market in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus. Hey y'all, this is your girl Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge for a coupon and daily support? Sign up at Metamucil.com today.
Hey guys, the Royal Management Team has gathered you here in Yield Conference Room to announce that thanks to all your hard work, the granary has enjoyed record profits this That said, there still isn't room in the budget for raises, but we will be providing gift cards to Grimwald's Tavern.
Really?
I'm sorry, I've been informed they are actually coupons, not gift cards.
Throughout history, people have always been underpaid. That's why Monster lets you search jobs by salary. Find your job at monster.com or download the app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. It's powerful tech with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right. Free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Attention, per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T Euro Health.
On the next Martha Van Camp and Robbins show, Biden thinks justice is middle-class black people paying for white liberals' gender studies PhDs. You mean it isn't?
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath design center studios of WSGW.
And we are back with you on the Art Lewis Show. And back to our phones in Saginaw Township, we find Sarah with us this morning. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Art. This is Sarah, and I want to talk about what your last caller was talking about the bias in the medical community. I heard the study, and I didn't pay much attention to it because most studies are, they pick one variable in it, and in this case they picked race. But a doctor, when they're treating multiple variables, and they don't necessarily just look at race. They look at speech, they look at how you present yourself, their expectation of your ability to follow through on instructions when you go home, and there's a lot more to it than just race. And the computers out there have great abilities to do multiple variable studies, but most of them I don't think go through that. And if you were to translate most of our society into just black and white or brown and white or whatever, you could trace a lot of it. Poverty compared to ability to get to the doctor and have follow-ups and things like that. So I hate to see the hospitals painted as racist when it's probably a lot more complicated issue than just somebody's the color of their skin.
Yeah, I would almost totally agree with you, with the exception that we also have to admit that within any organization or profession, there are those who might perform in a way which you and I might say is objectionable.
Well, probably.
Yeah, there's nobody perfect. Let's face it. We're all humans, and every profession is made up of humans, including highly educated doctors and nurses and engineers and you name it. There's no such thing as total perfection. It doesn't happen. And so we also have to recognize when we talk about these things that there are those who contribute to the findings of some of those studies that may lead to the conclusions those studies come to. I would agree with you that the study is limited because it only looks at one thing. At least that's what we're led to believe. I haven't seen the study.
that's what I got from the little bit I read
Right.
it, and I just discounted it because I know how limited those studies are.
Yeah, you can do a study on almost anything and come up with a conclusion.
Absolutely.
It depends how you phrase the study. There's no doubt. That's why polls are so suspicious. How did they phrase the question? And that counts.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. But I wanted to defend the medical community and attack the studies.
All righty. Thanks a lot, Sarah. Appreciate it. Take care. Let's talk to Steve in Essexville. Hey, Steve. Good morning.
Hi. Good comment on your discussion about Ford Motor Company and $100 million.
Yeah.
That the state gave them. This whole transition to electric vehicles is a forced transition by the government to get us to go to electric vehicles. And the state of Michigan, throw $100 million into it. Our tax dollars, as you say, and I think this is ridiculous. If they've got that extra $100 million, why don't they just return that money to the taxpayers?
Yeah.
And let the market decide. Let the market decide what's going to happen.
Oh boy, do you live in a dream world, huh? I would agree with you, but it ain't going to happen. Once you give them the money, you're not getting it back.
I know it's not going to happen. I don't give it to them voluntarily, although my taxes are supposed to be a voluntary tax.
Yeah.
They take this money and they do whatever they want with it. And it's just ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing. There's two things about that. One, in this country, it's taxation with representation. You elect the people that make those decisions. So you have to get enough people to agree with you to vote the people in that you want in. That's one. Two, the question when it comes to these things is what's proper in terms of incentivizing a company to build in Michigan? How far do we go to compete with the Tennessees and the Mississippis and the Georgias and everybody else in the world? What's reasonable and what can we expect as a return, guaranteed return on our investment? If I give you $100 million and I tell you, all right, but you have to invest $2 billion and you have to create X number of jobs, I expect that's what you will do, because if you don't, I shouldn't have to give you the money.
Well, I agree with that 100%. That should back to the state, but the way they throw around money is ridiculous.
Well, but I agree with that too. But that again, it goes back to who represents us, and who you get to agree with you. That's the nature of representative government. And sometimes those representatives don't do what you want. A lot of times they don't do what you want, unfortunately.
Right. And then, the recourse is to vote them out.
That's the recourse. That's the recourse. And then you have to vote enough of them out to make a change in the philosophy of the body. Good luck with that. It's not easy. Not easy at all. Not easy. But I think when the founding fathers created the system, they didn't want it to be easy. They didn't want things to change on the whim of the political climate every 5 minutes, Just because the political climate changes, they don't want you to throw your finger up in the air and see which way the wind's blowing, and the government changes every time. They did offer some stability in the way we govern.
Well, I think what the state should do, if they're going to have all this extra money, is just reduce our taxes.
Yeah.
So, it's just,
hey, I'm for that.
Like I say, they're taking more than they need if they've got an extra round to do things like that.
All right. Good enough. Steve, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye now. All right, we'll take a break and we will be back with more.
Feel like summer is flying by? Are you looking for entertaining family activities or to take a musical journey through the sounds of summer? The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join in the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer. Presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. There's still plenty to see and do throughout Saginaw and the riverfront area. For a complete list of events and activities, visit artsaginaw.org. And for daily updates on all the excitement, keep listening to WSGW.
People in Michigan come from all walks of life. Walk safely. To make this happen, both drivers and pedestrians need to follow the rules of the road. Pedestrians should always cross at an intersection or crosswalk and stay alert to traffic. Drivers should always yield to pedestrians, and both should follow all posted signs and signals. Remember, it's everybody's road, everybody's rules. Sponsored by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away. Symptoms including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
You have the chance to win $1,000 and $1,000 for your favorite school or charity. It's the WSGW Back to School Contest. To play, simply visit WSGW.com and click on the Back to School Contest box. You can enter with bonus entry opportunities too. Deadline to enter is August 31st. Winner determined by random drawing. $1,000 for you and $1,000 for your favorite school or charity. The Back to School Contest at WSGW.com.
Local news and information for Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland, and all the Great Lakes Bay region. It's not easy or convenient to get unless you get the WSGW newsletter. I'm WSGW News Director Ann Williams. Every weekday morning, WSGW sends a newsletter with local news updates, and you can get it free in your inbox. Sign up online at WSGW.com. Just scroll down the homepage and click on newsletter sign-up box.
All right, we're back. Before we get back to our phones, I got some emails from Brian again on a number of topics. Healthcare, if you don't have insurance, you're definitely discriminated against. Probably true, Brian. Doesn't matter what your race, ethnicity, nationality, or anything else. Money talks. Electricity, where's the green electricity coming from? Well, primarily they expect it to be solar and wind, coupled with what they have now in natural gas and what have you. What they want to do is eliminate the fossil fuel, oil, and coal. Coal pretty much is history, or will be, and oil is going to follow suit down the road. And from Richard, whatever happened to Suniva in Saginaw? Well, yep, they didn't make it. They failed. But my understanding, Richard, is they didn't get any of the incentive money they were promised either because of that failure. Paul is in Saginaw, and that's where we go next. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Art, I file a paper return every year to IRS and state and city and all that.
Okay.
I received my state of Michigan refund very promptly. I still have not received my federal refund yet, and I wonder how many of your listeners out there have not received their federal.
Yeah, I don't know, but there were news stories early on in the year about the fact that those that file as you do, the old way, were going to be delayed. They just didn't have the people to do it. And I don't know how long it's going to take, to tell you the truth. I don't file that way. I file electronically, and I had my refunds in days. So I sympathize with you, but I have no idea how long it's going to take. And now they want to hire 87,000 more IRS employees, none of which, from what I understand, are going to make your refund come any faster. Instead, they're going to investigate you. So
right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they send it to Ukraine. Maybe that's my refund.
I have to be honest, because of my background, and I've said many times, my father was a special agent in Treasury. He was a Fed, carried a gun, badge, and a whole thing, made arrests, did all that stuff. But he taught me to respect these government agencies because they have a very, very difficult job. And I do that. Now, if they weren't prepared for this onslaught, they should have been.
Right.
And, there's really no excuse other than the fact, I will tell you this, they lost a lot of people over the years through retirement and what have you. All of those agencies have. They're all recruiting. I mean, if you want to, for example, the IRS, they're looking to recruit 87,000 employees with this new money they've been bequeathed from the government. And many of those are going to turn out to be armed federal agents. And in order to be an armed federal agent, you have to meet certain qualifications, college degree, all that stuff, depending what branch of federal enforcement you go in, there are different requirements. And, these people are going to be highly trained, and that's going to take a long time. It's not going to happen overnight. First, it's going to take them a long time to find 87,000 employees. Start with that.
Right.
And then it's going to take them a long time to train these employees. So we're looking at a couple of years down the road before you see any impact of this. So,
Yep. Well, I have to
good
hold
luck
my
with your
breath
refund.
for a while. Right. Thank God it's not big.
Do you have a computer?
So, I don't right now. I've got a smartphone, but I don't have a computer. I can go to the library to use a computer.
Well, if you can file electronically, there are programs out there that allow you to do it for free. You might think about it. You might think about it.
Right.
Depending, and really, particularly if you have a relatively simple return.
I do.
Well, in that case, you would behoove yourself to do it. And you'd be surprised how fast it is.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Good luck.
You're right. Right. All right. Later.
Take care, Paul.
Okay.
Bye-bye now. That'll do it for calls because we're running short on time here. But again, it's going to be interesting to see how the IRS finds 87,000 employees. I'm curious as to how that's going to work and how much they're going to pay them. It's going to be interesting. All right. There was a story on that, too, about how much the starting pays are for these various positions in the IRS. We'll be back to close out.
Catch your fortune at Saginaw Eagles Landing. Fishing for a Fortune is your chance to win up to $100,000 every Friday and Saturday in August with hourly drawings from 11 a.m. So come reel in good times and serious winnings. It's Fishing for a Fortune, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saginaw-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
And now, bedtime. If sleep apnea and CPAP struggles are ruining your sleep, Inspire may work for you. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon.
prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. EPI, and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
Daughter Ivanka Trump and her husband Jared Kushner were apparently heading out for a night on the town in black tie apparel. Her dress reportedly valued at $5,000. Ouch. So here comes the tweet storm. How could she be displaying such insensitivity to flaunt the good fortune that she has of being able to afford such attire while the world is suffering? And of course, most of these tweets coming from the world of Hollywood, the world of music, which of course, when it comes to their own celebrations and red carpet openings, what do? Of glitz and glamour.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry.
And then he stand in front of us, proclaim that they're crying out, wondering, what are we doing about the hungry and the homeless and the downtrodden? Thank you very much for my award. I'm now going to go back and enjoy the meal set for us and then go home in my limo to my home where I'm going to be in my gated community. Hollywood needs to change that sign to hypocritical wood.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday. We thank you for being with us here on WSGW. Coming up, news from CBS, national and international report. And, of course, we'll have the local report for you, what's happening in the region and the state of Michigan. After that, it's Focus. Today, we focus on our kids' world. That will be along next.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW.
This is CBS News on the Hour. General Steele.
I'm Steve Kathan. We've heard it for years. A mountain of student debt has left millions of young people spinning their wheels.
It's hard to start a family when you're in so much debt. It's hard to be willing to make all these big investments when you're in so much debt.
Today, President Biden's expected to announce a federal plan to forgive up to $10,000 in individual debt for those who qualify and defer some payments. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
What it means in the short term is that tens of millions of Americans will see their student loan debt cut in half or together. This is a move that some are going to hail as historic. Others will slam as an inflation increaser.
In Florida, former Governor Charlie Crist won the Democratic primary. He'll face Republican incumbent Ron DeSantis in the fall.
His blind ambition for the presidency of the United States of America has taken his eye off the ball of this most beautiful state.
DeSantis expresses confidence about November.
We've accomplished an awful lot in Florida, more than anybody thought was possible when I got elected less than 4 years ago. But we're just getting warmed up.
Overseas now, Ukraine is marking its festivities going on in Kyiv. CBS's Deborah Pata.
It is a day fraught with danger amid fears Russia will spoil the party by ramping up attacks. Repugnant Russian provocations are possible, warned President Zelensky. Respect curfew and act on air raid sirens.
The U.S. is sending an additional $3 billion in military aid to Ukraine. Back here at home, CBS's Jim Krasula tells us keeping the lights on is a growing struggle in a high inflation economy.
There are warnings of what's being called a tsunami of shutoffs. An estimated 20 million U.S. homes, about American homes, have fallen behind on paying their utility bills. That's according to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association. It's the worst such crisis the group has ever documented.
Hall of Famer Len Dawson has died at 87.
The all-time leader in touchdown passes for the AFL is Kansas City's Len Dawson.
Dawson, one of the top quarterbacks of the late 1960s and early 70s. He led the Kansas City Chiefs to the Super Bowl IV title for more than 20 years. He was one of the hosts on HBO's Inside the NFL. With a success area, 17-year-old Mac Rutherford has become the youngest person to complete a solo flight around the world. Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 45 points. The S&P is up 8. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
People in Michigan come from all walks of life, but they should all be able to walk safely. To make this happen, both drivers and pedestrians need to follow the rules of the road. Pedestrians should always cross at an intersection or crosswalk and stay alert to traffic. Drivers should always yield to pedestrians, and both should follow all posted signs and signals. Remember, it's everybody's road, everybody's rules. Sponsored by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome to the Michigan Lottery Show. The fun and excitement.
50 years ago, in Michigan, inspired by fun and prizes for players. And this jackpot has helped local businesses.
Winning lottery ticket was sold at the family market.
And led to over $26 billion in support for Michigan public schools. Today, the jackpot is still growing. And the goodness it's spreading is a win for everyone. The Michigan Lottery. For fun, for schools, for 50 years. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is here, the perfect time to save some money. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out all of our deals going on right now from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One Up JB's Market in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
73 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. 4 fire departments combined forces to save a house in Marion Springs. The fire in the 11,000 block of South was reported about 5 p.m. yesterday. The family of 7 was not injured. However, the family cat and dog died in the fire. Marion Fire Department reports that the structure was saved, but heavy smoke ruined all of the contents. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Marion Fire Department received mutual aid from Tri-Township, Jonesfield, Lakefield, and Chesaning Brady Fire Departments in battling that fire. State investigators confiscated 11 video slot machines and 56 computers on August 18th, allegedly used for illegal gambling, plus more than $10,000 in suspected gambling proceeds and gift cards in raids conducted at 2 Flint locations, the Cellular Road and Cellular Bank on North Saginaw Street. The machines, cash, associated equipment, and business records were removed as part of joint investigations by the Michigan Department of Attorney General and the Michigan Gaming Control Board. The cellular vault contained 39 computers used to play slot-style games, and Cellular Bank housed 11 standalone slot machines similar to those seen in the commercial casino, and 13 computers used to play slot-style games. Cellular Bank also provided patrons a card with a PIN, allowing them to wager online from off-site locations such as their residences. The Saginaw Public Library System is launching a new initiative to improve kindergarten readiness. Jonathan Dent explains.
Lena Start is a program that teaches and encourages parents to talk to their children even before they're able to speak. Research which shows back and forth conversations between a caregiver and a child to be an important part of early brain development. Lena integrates a talk pedometer to measure how much parents are talking with their children and how much the child responds. Through a partnership with the Bay County Library System, Saginaw will be offering this 10-week-long course beginning October 10th at the Buttman Fish Library. Interested caregivers can call 99799-9160 or visit www.saginawlibrary.org. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Hi, I'm Albert Gay.
a public health professional who works to reduce drug and substance misuse in diverse communities across our country. I'm pleased to be celebrating the women of colors by presenting at their Community Appreciation event on Thursday, August 25th at 5:30 p.m. at the Saginaw Art Museum. After that, join us on Friday, August 26th at the SVRC building in the auditorium at 1 p.m. for the Community Health Equity Workshop for a deeper discussion on the revelations that the year 2020 brought us concerning injustice within our present-day society. This workshop will give an overview of a federal tool that helps any organization address the inequities found within their community. Finally, we will explore how the integration of this tool can help us transform systems for the creation of an equitable world.
W1108. A new 3-week course at Washtenaw Community College aims to put a dent in the nationwide trucker shortage with a new partnership. The college is partnering with Trainco Truck Driving School at the Ann Arbor campus for both classroom instruction and instruction behind the wheel.
They're a forward-thinking college, and they're just trying to make certain that they're helping their community out the best they can. And they saw that truck driving is in high demand. There's a need for it.
Mike Moshinki, vice president of Trainco, says the course teaches students to pass an exam for their CDL Class A license, which enables them to operate a vehicle combination weighing more than 26,000 pounds. He says the first class starts September 1st and costs just under $5,000. He says learning to drive a truck is life-changing for some students. 2 people are under arrest in Port Huron, another 2 people in what U.S. Border Patrol agents say was a human smuggling operation on a jet ski. Agents say they witnessed a man on a jet ski sail across the St. Clair River and drop off 2 people on the U.S. side. They were picked up by a car. Agents stopped the vehicle and found 2 Brazilian nationals who had no clearance to enter the U.S. A short time later, they nabbed a Brazilian man and a woman who crossed into the U.S. the same way. The 4 Brazilians and vehicle driver are all facing charges. The jet ski operator is being questioned in Canada. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Few spotty showers and thunderstorms possible late today. Otherwise, a blend of clouds and sunshine develops a high into the mid-80s. We'll have winds out of the west around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms early on. Partly cloudy skies, low near 60. Thursday, a chance for rain showers here late, mostly cloudy, high of 82 degrees. Then on Friday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 79. Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high of 83. And on Sunday, partial sunshine develops a high around 87. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 74.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out more online at GetRoofMax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. And today we're going to learn about something that our Alpha Media facilities are involved in called Our Kids World, sponsored by a number of people, which we will find out about this morning, because as a guest in the studio, I've taken her away from her daily chores. And Mark Thomas, our general manager, is probably fretting in his office because of it. She is our general sales manager, and we say good morning to Carrie Gustafson.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning. Thanks for being with us this morning. All right. So Our Kids World, not the first time we've done this. We've been doing it for a number of years now. Let's start with the sponsors, because I know there are a number and you'd like to include them in everything, and we should. So tell us who they are.
Yeah, so we just want to say a huge thank you to Sarah Chevrolet Toyota of Saginaw. We are actually going to be hosting the Back to School edition this September at their location. So we're going to be right here in Saginaw off of Bay Road. So thank you to them for being our title sponsor.
And we should point out that is a new location for our world.
Yes. Yep. And the date is official. It's Saturday, September 24th from 10. And our co-sponsor is Francis Ray Academy. They have been our sponsor for the last couple of years, so we're excited to have them back on board. And the whole event is going to be powered by New Birth Missionary Church in partnership with Diploma and Careers Institute. So we're excited to have them on board as well.
And this all happens again when?
So it's going to be Saturday, September 24th at Sarah in Saginaw from 10 to 1.
So what are we going to find there? Parent shows up with their youngsters, and we do hope they bring their youngsters. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Our kids' world. What are we going to have there?
So if you've been to our event before, it's going to be very similar. We are making it a little bit more of a focus on back to school because kids obviously are going to be going back to school here if they haven't already. We're going to bounce houses, a food truck, and you want to be involved, they can get a hold of Nate here at the station and come out. We're going to have vendors. Michigan Sugar is going to be out there with cotton candy, face painter. We always have our cool photo booth out there with the station. We'll have an entertainment tent where the kids can do karaoke. Just lots of fun things for the kids. And one thing that we want to stress is that this is a free event for the community. So just come out, have fun, lots of activities for the kids and families to do and kind of enjoy the back to school season.
Is this going to be outdoors in the parking lot or indoors?
Yes. So
Or
if you're
both?
familiar, So if you're familiar with the dealership, if you are standing in front of it, off to the right is where we're going to have it. So we're going to have it right there in the parking lot. There'll be tents for shade, all that good stuff.
And the big word is free.
Yes.
And that's because of the sponsorships, obviously, that allows that to happen. Do you know how many years we've been doing this? I lost count.
Goodness, I knew. I know for sure 4, probably actually longer than that because we were doing it before 2020 because we couldn't have it that year. So
Right.
we've been doing it for quite a few years now.
Yep. And it's always a fun event. It's
It
always
is.
a great event. Is there going to be any kind of entertainment?
So yes, the kids are going to be doing karaoke. Oh, and don't forget we put you on the lineup too, Art. So
You did?
yeah, Jonathan said he would help you as well.
Doing what?
Karaoke.
Not happening.
Oh, okay.
Tell Jonathan he's doing it.
You're going to leave me hanging?
There he is. I knew he was there.
He was trying to chime in there for a second.
Not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to leave you singing because I'm not doing it.
Right.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It is a fun time, though. And
It is.
And, it is back to school time and school supplies and all of that good stuff. So it's worth coming out. We'll talk more about it. I got to take a break. Talking to our general sales manager, Kerry Gustafson, about Our Kids World. We'll tell you more about it when we return here on Focus.
Hometown feel and big time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel. This is a getaway that makes you... We've got hundreds of slots, great food, and a comfy place to stay. So come on in and see what the good times are all about. Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Mark your calendars for all the fun at Our Kids World Back to School Edition. Saturday, September 24th at Sarah Automotive in Saginaw. This free kids event will help kick off the school year with bounce houses, fun games, prizes, and so much more. Sarah Automotive invites you out from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to join in all the action. If you or your organization call 989-752-3456. Our Kids World Back to School Edition. Saturday, September 24th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sponsored by Sarah Automotive and Francis Ray Academy.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW online poll, football 2022. Season's ready to kick off. Michigan spectacular last season, winning a Big Ten championship, finishing 12-2. Michigan State impressive, winning the Peach Bowl, finishing 11-2. Lions only won 3 games, but did beat 2 playoff teams later in the year, Green Bay and Atlanta. Can Michigan and Michigan State continue great, gutsy, gridiron play? Will the Lions' appearance on HBO's Hard Knocks become hardcore football? Poll question: what team do you predict to win the most games this season? Wolverines, Spartans, Lions. All 3 will tie, or you can choose the Wolverines and Spartans, the Wolverines and Lions, or the Spartans Lions. Make your choice by going to WSGW.com, clicking on the poll box and making your vote.
You would always think, hey, the Lions play more games, right?
Yeah, never in all the years that we have done this poll.
Could that change?
Could this be the year?
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW. From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, back with you. I just talked to our boss, Gary, Mark Thomas. He said, get back to work. No, he didn't. Only kidding. We're talking about whoops, pushed the magic button wrong again. There we go. Talking about Our Kids World, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Toyota of Saginaw, Francis Ray Academy, and powered by NB Missionary Church in partnership with Diploma and Careers Institute. Some of these I haven't heard of. What do you know about the Diploma and Careers Institute?
Yeah, so that is actually a really cool organization, Art. So Pastor Camel from the church is actually partnering with them. Yeah, so that's how we kind of got involved with it. And it's a great organization. It's involved in online studies. So for instance, if they are looking for an alternative to in the classroom, that type of a thing, they can go through this program, and it's right here local. So typically they've been a little bit south of us, and they have branched up into this area. And so if you're looking for an alternative for your child, it's actually a really neat online program. So you can give them a call at DCI and they'll get your kid taken care of.
Very, very good. And of course, Francis Ray Academy.
Yeah.
Nice to be involved with them.
Absolutely.
And then let's talk about Sarah Chevrolet Toyota, because, I mean, they're it. They're the king of the hill here for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, we've been very fortunate to have the partnership with them. With the dealership and the team over there at Sarah. And so, you know, it was just a perfect fit. You know, they jumped on board last time with us for the sponsorship, and, you know, they're our local Chevy dealer here in the. Very fortunate to have them involved. They do a lot of local community sponsorships, some different events. In fact, they have one, a really cool taco event. I think that you guys, a lot of food trucks that are going to be coming out a couple weeks before ours. So, look around for some information on that, and that'll be, you know, really neat to go out and see too. So we're just excited to be able to do that. We're going to be right there out on Bay Road. So when you're out and about on Saturday, make sure, you know, you stop by. We want it to just be, like we said, a fun, free event for the community. One of the neat things that we're going to be doing is we know that, you know, kids are a priority here, and we want to make sure our kids in our community are taken care of. So we've partnered again with Great Lakes Bay Health Centers, and they're going to have the And this bus is super cool. So, a lot of times when you take your kids, I'm a mom, so I know what it's like taking a kid and trying to get them to the dentist. Well, this bus is super fun. You go on there, they kind of get to look around, get the feel of what it is. So when it comes around to their school, they actually have an idea of what it's like to go to the dentist. They'll have some different free samples out there and stuff like that, and information from the team. So the dental bus will be there. And then we're also working with them this year. It's something new that we haven't done at our other events, is having the medical bus. So hopefully we'll be able to figure that out and possibly provide physicals on site for a lower cost.
That dental bus is really important. I'll tell you why. Because a child's acceptance or fear of dentistry happens at a very young age. And if you can get them to the point where they accept dentistry and they know it's good for them, they carry that for the rest of their life. If they don't, they will not take care of their teeth for the rest of their life. So it's very important to have that bus there.
Yep, absolutely. And, we've been partnering with Great Lakes Bay Health Centers for a while on several of our events. They just have a lot of resources. They are huge in the community. And so to be able to have the dental bus out there, we're just very grateful, to have that there, and hopefully be able to have the medical bus as well. And then we also have invited to have the fire department out there, so the kids can, take, pictures with the fire truck, check that out, and also the police department. So, we'll have all of that there as well.
Lots of parking.
Lots of parking. So we've challenged our friends over at Sarah to move. And they've got a pretty good system going over there. So they will be actually, we'll have a section for parking. And then if you're parking over in the Toyota area, we're going to be having some type of shuttle set up so, they can help you get over to the event. So
they're not that far from each other. I was going to say you can walk it. Yeah. So remind everybody again about the whens and wheres and the time and all that good stuff.
Sure. It's going to be Saturday, September 24th.
It's this Saturday.
Yep. It's a Saturday. Yep. And it's going to be from 10 to 1. And it's going to be hosted right in the parking lot at Sarah Chevrolet Toyota of Saginaw. So that is right off of Bay Road.
Who from the station is going to be there?
We're taking the day off that day, is what I heard.
Good.
He doesn't know it, but I volunteered him.
Who's that?
Jonathan.
Oh, good.
my
Well, I volunteered him to sing too, so it's good.
Yeah, right. So he has to sing. All of us, like our whole staff, will be there. Each of the stations, will be there set up. So we're working with some local organizations for volunteers. So if there's any organizations that would like to volunteer to help out with the event, we know that the high schoolers are obviously back in session and, need volunteer hours. We would love to have them involved to help out with the kids. So, it's just going to be a lot of fun. So come out and hang out with us and watch Jonathan sing.
All right. Thanks a lot. Go back to work.
Thank you.
Mark
I know
is
I have
waiting.
nothing to do today. Actually, I walked out of a meeting to come here, Art. So you might be hearing about it later.
Good. Yeah, no, I won't. I'll close my ears.
All right.
All right.
Good.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thanks,
Bye-bye
Art.
now. Carrie Gustafson, she is our general sales manager at Alpha Media Saginaw. We thank her for joining us talking about Our Kids World. Back to close out after these notes and find out what's happening in the marketplace.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and